Hello, good morning students. From today's class we are going to learn for our second semester. Today we are beginning a new chapter, Places of Indian Cultural Heritage, chapter 6. Already we have seen our Indian cultural heritage, types of cultural heritage already we have seen in the previous lessons. Today we are going to discuss about the places of Indian cultural heritage. The cultural heritage of India is very rich and prosperous. India as well as foreign visitors are attracted to visit the places of cultural and natural heritage of India. In this chapter, we shall study about these places because even our foreign people, the foreign countries people also visiting our country because of our cultural as well as the natural heritage. So first we will see that caves of Ajanta. The famous caves of Ajanta are situated in Aurangabad district near Ajanta village. So you can underline your textbook. The Ajanta cave is located where? In Aurangabad district near Ajanta village. So where is Aurangabad? In Maharashtra. They are important from the point of view of art of Vastu. These caves are divided in two divisions. These Ajanta caves are divided in two divisions, which are how the caves based on wall painting, caves based on sculpture. In this ways, it was divided as a two division based on wall painting, based on sculpture. The caves of number 1, 2, 10, 16 and 17 have excellent painting wall and attain the high rank in wall painting because especially that caves number 1, 2, 10, 16 and 17 in the it is based, though it is divided in the base of wall painting. Then the theme of this wall painting is Buddhist religion. Ajanta caves are divided in two categories. They are Chaityas and Vihars. You can underline your textbook. So the Ajanta caves are divided in two categories. They are Chaityas and Vihars. So what is Chaityas? Chaitya like a temple, then Vihars are monastery. Means the monks can be reside in the place. Cave number 9, 10, 19, 26 and 29 are Chaityas, whereas the remaining caves are Vihars. So number 9, 10, 19, 26 and 29 and the category of Chaityas. Rest all remains as a Vihars. Ajanta caves were forgotten with the passage of time, but in 1899 AD, an English captain John Smith rediscovered them because from the past years, from the ancient time onwards, the what is in the from past what is in the passage of time, these caves were there, but no one was not giving any type of importance. So that is why it was forgotten. But in the year of 1819, an English captain John Smith rediscovered because he regained the place. Ajanta caves are the magnificent example of initial Buddhist art of Vastu, art of painting and sculpture. In these are the base, it was very important. It was these caves are the magnificent for in the example type also. Human interference and impact of time have greatly damaged them. Ajanta caves are famous not only in India but also in world for the extraordinary rich art. The artwork, our caves are very important all over the world even. Then the fine blending of wonderful art of painting, sculpture and architecture of Ajanta caves have earned pride for an Indian art. So it is one of the pride for our Indian people. So what is the meaning of Chaitya? Things to know. Chaitya means the temple halls. You can underline your textbook. Chaitya means temple halls for Buddhist monks. Stupas are built in the interior more. So stupa we can see the interior place or the inside the place, the end of the caves. So in the end of the in the inside part of the caves, at the end we can see that stupa. Vihar means Buddhist monasteries where Buddhist monks reside and study. So Vihar means Buddhist monasteries where Buddhist monks were reside. The Buddhist people were residing, the monks were residing in the vihars. Already I said about. Then next we will see that Ellora caves. Ellora caves are situated at Aurangabad district in Maharashtra. So Ellora caves also in Maharashtra. So already we said about the Ajanta also in Maharashtra. So in the map they are asking. So locate the Ajanta cave. So you can locate in where is it in the Maharashtra. If they are asking what is Ajanta cave, the Ellora cave also the same place. There are 34 caves in all. There are 3 groups of cave temple and they are different from each other. So there are 34 caves. Which caves? The Ellora caves are altogether 34. So they are in the 3 groups of caves temple and they are different from each other. So we'll see that 1 to 12 are Buddhist caves. So how they are divided? Then 1 to 12 caves for Buddhist caves. Then 13 to 29 are Hindu caves. Then 30 to 34 are Jain caves. So in that way it was divided. The caves were divided in the sections base. Hindu caves are built during the reign of Rashtrakuta dynasty. You can underline your textbook. So the Hindu caves are built during the time of Rashtrakuta dynasty. Kailash temple is situated in caves number 16. So Kailash temple were in the caves number 16 we can see. It is 15 meter long, 33 meter wide and 30 meter high. That is the Kailash temple size. Because already we said about it is situated in the Kailash temple is situated in the number 16. So this 16 number where it will come for the Hindu caves. Already we said about. That is why that is the size. We can see that 50 meter long, then 33 meter wide as well as the 30 meter high. This temple is carved out of a single massive rock. Because how this temple is carved in a single rock, in a big rock only it was constructed or it was carved. This temple is adorned with beautiful doors, balconies and a series of pillars. So these are some of the beautiful thing in the temple we can see. The beautiful doors are beautiful, balconies as well as pillars. The beauty of temple cannot be described in words. They are constructed during the time of 680 to 1000 AD. In that time Rashtrakuta dynasty, in that reign of Rashtrakuta dynasty. It is a live display of ancient Indian civilization. Caves dedicated to Hindu, Jain and Buddhist religion. So already we said about the caves are dedicated for Hindus. The number is there 13 to 29. For the Jains 30 to 34. Then for Buddhist 1 to 12. Ellora campus is not only an example of magnificent creation of art but also best example of excellent technology. So already we said about that in the Ajanta caves. It was in the one of the rich artwork we can see in the Ellora cave. But in this one means the Ellora caves. The Ajanta caves only the rich artwork is there. But in the Ellora cave there are artwork also the technology, excellent technology also used. Moreover, it describes about the patience of Indians. Third one, the Elephanta cave. These caves are built in Arabian Sea. So this Elephanta cave built in the Arabian Sea, 12 km away from Mumbai in Maharashtra. So Elephanta cave also located in Maharashtra. So these 3 caves are in Maharashtra. There are 7 caves in all. There is a huge stone monument of an elephant. On seeing this structure, the Portuguese named it elephant because when they see this one, the monument, when they see, they felt as a elephant. That is why they got the name of elephant. The seeing the structure of Portuguese named this elephant. So who has given the name of Elephanta cave? The Portuguese. Many beautiful figures have been carved, out of them the magnificent Trimurti temple, Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. And these are the one of the important thing, the beautiful figures have been carved, out of them the magnificent, which are the beautiful figures. The important ones are Trimurti temple, That are three. Murti means three. Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. In cave number 1 is the best specimen of sculpture. Then in 1987 AD, UNESCO has placed Elephanta Cave in the list of World Heritage. Local fishermen called it Dharapuri. So which cave is listed in the UNESCO, listed by the UNESCO? The Elephanta Cave. You can underline your textbook, very important one. So UNESCO has placed which cave in the list of World Heritage? The Elephanta Cave. So you can underline your textbook also. Next we will see that Mahabalipuram. What is Mahabalipuram? We will see here. Mahabalipuram is located 60 km away from Chennai. So from Chennai it is that Mahabalipuram is located. The city of Tamil Nadu is famous for its splendid temple architecture and seashore. Narasimha Varma first, who was popularly known as Mahamala, belonged to Pallava dynasty. 7 chariot temples were built here. Here also 7 chariot temples can be seen. At present, only 5 chariot temples exist. 2 chariot temples have submerged in the sea. Then there is an amazing figure of Lord Vishnu in a smiling pose. Beside, there is an idol of goddess Durga slaying Mahisaura in worth seeing. That is only one of the important thing. We can see what is the idol of goddess Durga. Mahabalipuram, which has an unparalleled architectural rock sculpture, was also famous harbor of ancient time. Next we will see that Pattadakal Memorial. Pattadakal, the capital of Chalukya dynasty, is 16 km away from Badhami Nagar, and a Dravid style of architecture is used in the construction of temples here. So Pattadakal temple, which style is used? Dravidian style. Dravid style of architecture. These were built during the 7th and 8th century. Virupaksha temple is the biggest temple in Pattadakal. So which is the biggest temple in Pattadakal? Then Virupaksha temple. Then next we will see the temples of Khajuraho. These temples are located in a small village named Khajuraho at Chhatarpur district in Madhya Pradesh. So this Khajuraho temple is located where? In Chhatarpur district of Madhya Pradesh. So you can underline the map. So locate the Khajuraho temple. So you can easily understand, you can locate that is in Madhya Pradesh or MP. Then Khajuraho was the ancient capital city of the Chandela Rajaput of Bundelkhand. So temples were built by this king during their reign. Means 952 to 1050 AD. This much of time. Presently 25 temples are in existence. So presently we can see 25 temples. Most of them are Shaiva or Shiva temples, whereas some of them are Vaishnava and Jain temples. So that all together we already said about the Khajuraho temple. 25 temples are there. Most of them are in the name of Shiva temples, then as well as then Vaishnava and Jain temples also. They all have similar type of architecture and sculpture. The 64 yoginis temples in the main temple. So 64 yoginis temples. They all have, the Toran or the arc of the temple is the best example of ornamental style of architecture. Toran or the arc of the temple is the best example of ornamental style of architecture. All of the temples were constructed with the granite stone. Khajuraho temple were constructed in Naga style art of sculpture and art of Vastu of Khajuraho temple spellbound the visitors. So next we will see then Sun temple. Sun temple of Konark. It is situated near Bay of Bengal at Puri district in Odisha. So you can underline your textbook. Sun temple is located in Odisha. Then it was constructed in 13th century during the reign of King Narasimha Varma first. So the Sun temple was constructed in which century? 13th century, the time of or the reign of King Narasimha Varma first. Then Narasimha Varma, who belonged to the Garg dynasty. This chariot temple drawn by 7 horses took the form of chariot of sun god. So this question is very important, or the describe or the write about the sun temple. So these are the important point every year in the exam time they were asking. So you can write about also the chariot temple drawn by 7 horses. This chariot temple is carrying by the 7 horse. Then took the form of chariot of sun god, because the sun god chariot they are carrying. It has 12 massive wheels. In the picture you can see these all the things. So altogether 12 massive wheels. Massive wheels also we can see, that is in 12, providing beauty to the pedal of the temple. These wheels reflect the 12 months, and each wheel has 8 spokes, which shows the 8 praharas of the day. So you can see in the picture that's 8 spoke. These 8 spokes speak about what? The time. They reflect the these wheels reflect the 12 months, not a time, the months it was reflecting. Then each wheel have 8 spokes, which shows the 8 paragas of the day. 8 that how the time is divided. In that way it was known as. Detail of motif and subject diversity of the temple is unparalleled. The temple has been built by black stone. So it is called as Black Pagoda, Odisha. So which temple is known as that Black Pagoda? That is a Sun Temple of Konark, because it was built by black stone. So it is called as that Black Pagoda. You can underline your textbook. So it is, where is it is in Odisha. These remains reflect the sculpture and civilization of 13th century Odisha. Next we'll see that Brihadishwar temple. This temple is located at Thanjavur in Tamil Nadu. So Brihadishwar temple situated or located in Thanjavur, that is in Tamil Nadu. This temple was built during 1003 AD and 1010 AD. It is a Shiva temple, so it is called Brihadishwar temple. So this temple is known as in the name of Shiva. So it is called that Brihadishwar temple. It is built by King Rajaraja I of Chola dynasty. Which temple? Brihadishwar temple. It is known as Rajarajeshwar temple. So Brihadishwar temple is also known as that Rajarajeshwar temple. Why? Because the King Rajaraja I, the Chola dynasty, he only built this temple. The height of this temple is 500 feet. Its width is 250 feet. That is the size of the temple. It is spread in very vast area surrounded by the wall. Its summit is 200 feet high above the ground. Hence this temple is attained the place in the temples of high pinnacles. So what is it? It is summit. Means the summit means the top or the height. The height is 200 feet high, because the top is still that you can see in the picture also. Then pinnacle, you can see that. So it is attained the place of temples of high pinnacles. This is a marvelous heritage architectural art of India, due its gorgeous and huge size of pinnacle and artistic decoration. The same way, it has secured a place among the best temple of South. So this is secured. What is a good name? Or it was secured a place among the best temple of South India, because Brihash's temple was one of the important or the famous temple. It has been constructed in Dravidian style of art. You can underline your textbook. The Brihashwar temple was constructed in which style? The Dravidian style of art. Next we will see that Qutub Minar. So Qutub Minar is located at Delhi. We all know very well about the Qutub Minar. So Qutub Minar is located at Delhi. It was built in 12th century by Qutbuddin Aibak, who was the founder of Ghulam dynasty. So this Qutub Minar built by Qutbuddin Aibak. So he was the founder of Ghulam dynasty. It was located in Delhi. After his death, the remaining work was completed by his son-in-law Iltutmish. So after his death, his son-in-law means his son-in-law only completed the work of this temple. This 22.5 meter tall skyscraper is made out of round red stone and marble. How it was constructed? So they were used, what is it? The red stone and marble. It is circumference is 13.75 meter at its base, and it's reduced to 2.75 meter at its top, because in the down place it was around how much it is the circumference, which in the bottom part we can see, then 13.75 meter in the down or the base, and is reduced to 2.75 meter in the top. So you can see in the picture also, the down part is more bigger, or the size is very wide. When it reach, it will become very narrow. So words of Quran have been engraved on it. It is the tallest stone minaret of India. So this in Qutub Minar, what was the words were written in the Quran verse. Next we will see that Hampi. This town is situated on the bank of river Tungabhadra or hotspot in Bellary district of Karnataka. So Hampi is located in Bellary district of Karnataka. Hampi was the capital city of Vijayanagar kingdom. The rulers of Vijayanagar kingdom were lovers of art, because the Vijayanagar kings, they were the lovers of the art. They like art. Peculiar type of architecture was developed in Vijayanagar during this reign. The period of Krishnadevaraya was considered to be the golden period of this art. Krishnadevaraya was considered to be the golden period of this art, as it reached to its highest peak. The main feature of architecture style of Vijayanagar was to carve out huge and magnificent pillars from the stone. So how it was engraved, how it was carved out of. Pillars and columns made were artistically adorned with the figures of gods, goddess, humans, animals, warriors and dancers. So in this way it was artistically adorned, or it was decorated with the figures. So which are the figures? Figures of goddess, gods, humans, animals, warriors and dancers. In Hampi village of Vijayanagar kingdom, during the reign of Krishnadevaraya, the Vithala temple and Hajra temple were built besides it. Virupaksha temple, then Achyutarai temple of Lord Krishna are the best example of architecture. Next, Humayun's tomb. The tomb of Humayun at Delhi is the best specimen of the Mughal architecture. Tomb means where the body was keeping. That place is known as that tomb. After the death of Humayun, it was built by his wife Queen Hamida Begum. This tomb was made in Iranian style of art. So the tomb of Humayun at Delhi, one of the Mughal architecture work. Then after the death of Humayun, who built? It was built by his wife. What was her name? Hamida Begum. This tomb was made in Iranian style of art. Humayun tomb was made in Iranian style of art. You can underline your textbook. Humayun tomb was made by Iranian style. Red and white stone were skillfully used in it. Next we will see that Fort of Agra. Fort of Agra is the Agra city of Uttar Pradesh. Fort of Agra is the Agra city of Uttar Pradesh. It is made up of red stone, hence it is known as the Red Fort. Why it is known as with the Red Fort? Because it is made up of a red stone. That is why this Agra fort is known as that. What is the Red Fort? It was built by Akbar in 1565 AD. We can see the reflection of Hindu and Iranian style of art in it, because the Fort of Agra, which style is used? The Hindu and Iranian style. The reflection of Hindu and also the style is Iranian, we can see like a Humayun tomb. Then the fort has 70 feet tall wall with a 1.5 mile circumference. That is the under the base. Then 1.5 mile circumference. The red stone are skillfully embedded in this fort. The architectural style of Bengal and Gujarat on Jahangir Palace can be seen clearly. Shah Jahan had spent the last day of his life in this fort. So you can underline your textbook. Shah Jahan, where he spent his last day of his life in the fort of Agra. So Shah Jahan had spent the last day of his life in this fort. Next we'll see that Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is located at Agra in UP in the bank of river. Taj Mahal is one of the 7 wonders of the world. It was known as that 7 wonders of the world. So you can underline your textbook. Then it was constructed by Mughal King Shah Jahan in the memory of his queen Mumtaz Mahal. We all know this all the history, because then Shah Jahan built this Taj Mahal for his memory of his wife. Then Mumtaz Mahal died in the year of 1630 AD. After her death, the construction of Taj Mahal started in 1631. So in the 1630 she died. Then this tomb construction was started in the year of 1631 AD. It was completed in 1653 AD after 22 years. So 22 years has taken to complete this work. Shah Jahan used expert Indian sculpture beside Iranian, Albanian, then Turkish and European sculpture or artisans were also engaged in the construction of Taj Mahal. So for the construction of Taj Mahal, these many people came from their own countries like Iranian people, Arabian, Turkish and European. The sculptures as well as the artisans were worked for this tomb. Taj Mahal is counted as one of the best tomb of the world. Then one of the best tomb is Taj Mahal. Due to this tomb, the name of Mumtaz Mahal has become immortal. Means it never died. That is the meaning of immortal. This was the innermost wish of Shah Jahan, because still her name is remembered by seeing this the tomb. The building of Taj Mahal is spread in rectangular shape from north to south. The grave of Mumtaz, grave means the tomb of Mumtaz, lies in the center of Taj. It is surrounded by beautiful artistic octagonal fence carved out of stone. Then a beautiful saying is inscribed on one of its arches. What is? Pious heart are welcomed in the garden of paradise. So that was the one of the sentence was written or inscribed on the tomb. Pious heart are welcomed in the garden of paradise. The architecture of Taj glorifies the rich heritage of India. The grandeur of Taj attracts thousands of people every year. So students, today we have seen some of the places of Indian Indian cultural heritage. The caves we have seen, caves of Ajanta, Ellora and Elephanta cave. and also some of the temple, Mahabalipuram, Pattadakal, then Khajuraho temple, then Sun temple of Konark, then Briheshwar temple, then Qutub Minar, Hampi, Humayun's tomb, Agra Fort and Taj Mahal. These are the points we have seen in this chapter in the first section. So next we will see in the next session. So thank you students, thank you for listening my class.